The story begins on a highway where there's a huge traffic jam and vehicles are blowing their horns continuously. The driver wonders how the road suddenly became he got blocked. He looks in his side mirror and she sees a boy who looks straight. He is walking in the middle of the highway. The presence feels so distinct that the driver's eye feel like getting off the car and asking what's next, what is happening. But before that the boy jumps onto a truck and then suddenly there is a loud noise and the driver along with him other people also came in their vehicles come out and look upwards. Everybody can see that there is a big the gate is opening. The boy shouts and he tells everyone to run away quickly. Because according to him the monsters are out. People get scared when they hear that they are going to leaving their vehicles here and there. The boy starts running away with his sword, prepares it and instills a powerful energy in it, charges as monsters gate. The boy starts to take out his sword, swing the wheel in one stroke to destroy the monsters. After some time he kills one of the raiders. The reinforcement team reaches there. This makes a raider feel that something is going wrong because the gate is still open, which means the monsters are still coming out, but there's no monster corpse. Then there appears an advanced monster, that is, a Quater Drake, coming out of the gate, which he sees happening is a very dangerous and everyone is a high-level creature of that monster feel the pressure because it was for those raiders who were awarded the gold mark level or above. As soon as the monster is about to attack, when the boy that stood there was Quater Drake's, reaches back and in one swift move cuts it into two pieces. A shock wave is generated as soon as a massive body falls and all the raiders are amazed at that boy. One of those raiders is watching him see the golden dragon on the jacket shows that he is Lee Semin, a very strong raider, but Lee Semin who is now so he has become powerful. He has been a different person than before. The story was a few years ago that was a simple and he was an average person. Story after the incident goes into flashback where her whole the past is shown in the story. It is said that when the monsters first appeared in the world, since then the world has been divided into two groups. Raiders and non-raiders were divided. Raiders are people who fight against monsters, fight and kill them, and non-raiders are normal people who stay away from things and go about your daily life. One day I am busy with Semin Raider management to get your raw levels checked at the bureau. The receptionist tells him that he can go inside. He is intention. Yes, I answer. Every single person you have to check your aura levels regularly, and the bureau passes awakening judgment. This judgment checks whether there is raw in a human being or not, and after that there is a qualification test which decides whether he can become a raider or not. Only those people whose aura levels are certain. If you are having thrush, then give the test. Can the seaman goes inside the laboratory and greets the technician. The technician responds to him and says, because you have done this process before. If yes, then skip the basic explanation and go there. I reply. The technician tells him that he will be in the military next year. Reason for enlistment and its evaluations. It was delayed, but it cannot be delayed any further. Seaman is troubled, but still he handles the situation and speaks that she knows this and suggests a technician he should get counseling because he won't be like this much longer. You can refuse in a semi-polite manner and tells him to just give the test. Wants to go and technician man and he is asked for military enlistment. The deadline reminds me. Then she gets into the machine. He lies down and a few moments later it is said that his aura level is 103, which the level of Ra has not changed since last year, but it starts from 100 and gradually the seaman's aura level increases, but it awakens first. It has been the same since Ning's time. No matter how much work hard and train to achieve his aura level, the technician never raised the issue to sign him, gives a form for it, and she does that with her. He thinks about reality first. I thought he would definitely achieve his goal, but till now his life is very much for him. Seaman has been having difficulty after the test. He thanks the technician and leaves from there. He leaves and after some time he reaches his home. He goes and opens the door to his room. His room is small and very dirty, and he goes straight to your laptop and play the game you want. Plays and wants to check the reward. He gets a notification regarding his qualification requirements confirmed. He thinks what is it that he clicks a button while being confused, which is called Transcend Network. He sees 3 boards on the screen. There are tip board, special member board and general. Being curious about the member board, he became general member, clicks on the board and starts looking at it that a lot of people are posting different posts. He looks at some posts laughing and comments on a post which is Damu. It belongs to a user named Guang. He jokingly gives advice to Damu. Guang lets get him back to reality a bit and he gets some fresh air outside, closes the site and thinks that his comment might have been directed at Damu. Guang helped bring it into reality, and then he checks the news and sees that a raider named Sang Jun's rank, seeing that it has turned from gold to platinum, becomes fond of it because he does not understand how did Sanju achieve such a high rank. In the comments of Lia News, he is saying that people sees the positive comments that Sang Jun seeing this seaman and even more are praising. He gets frustrated because he remembers how does she and Sung Jun ever get on the same level, and he would kill him without mercy. He was angry that he missed his training schedule. He gets frustrated after seeing the note. He becomes so angry that he throws the note. He folds it and throws it on his laptop and he writes comments and speaks to his heart, eliminates frustration. But then another notification comes from you. Qualification has been confirmed. Says Semin Bolta, why is this site coming up again? Then he explores the site and sees a new member is on board whose name is Wandering Beggar Kim Bong Hok. He tells Bangik, brother, why don't you give me your bank details and I will give you the donation. By the way, I'm a raider. Bong Hok Bola, hey, you are a rude boy. Raider, he probably is, or in your dimension, and you're too young to call me brother. Simin, he asks how big you are and he replies, I stopped counting after 1400 years. I did it, and age doesn't matter to me because I am trans. Hearing this makes me jealous. More interest on Hans K. Bunga's dedication. Seaman takes a picture and scrolls through the post, scrolling to the general member board, and he sees another comment which says Grand Wiz Liana has posted that comment. In Liana writes that she wanted to meet Seaman and for this she collected points. I have planned to do Seaman as a joke. He replies that it is very difficult to find him. It would be difficult, he didn't know it at the time, that a strange force is forming behind him. Then Seaman hears a voice saying, she says, if you really get it, then what will you do? Frightened, he looks back and sees a lady flies through the portal and takes him. She says, I came to see this. I wonder what kind of a person you are. Who are you? Simin is shocked and speechless seeing all this. The Liana is then tied tightly to the root. She wraps herself around her and Simon is unable to move out of fear. Liana doesn't understand why he is so weak. Why does she laugh at him and make fun of him? Seaman asks him about his identity. He promises that he will tell me everything. Leave her. When she leaves him, he falls with a thud on the floor of his room. He stutters and asks the lady if she who is Liana. She introduces herself and reminds Seaman that he first what stupid things he was saying, asks if he is really a raider. Seaman getting a little upset, he says that he is still. Liana is on her way to becoming a raider. She asks him if he is really a raider. Is Seaman worthy of becoming his own or not? Tells about the world that people of Ra using it to kill the musters and they're called raiders, but everybody has it. I don't have any more. I have only a little bit because I am an Akon, but my level is never. I did not even get high. Hearing this, Liana says, really show your true colors. Try hard. After Seaman collected some Ra in his hands which disappears after a while, Liana asks, is this yours? The whole aura. Seaman answers with a smile, yes, this is it. Liana laughingly calls him her own. The aura shows that her aura is so powerful. There are a lot of things lying around in the room. She falls and Seaman finally understands that Liana is a transient being. Fearfully apologizes for his mistakes. Just then someone knocked on the door of Seaman's room and asked Seaman, what are you doing inside? Why are you making so much noise? Is he coming so early? Replies from nothing happened, everything is fine. Liana calms down a little bit. She says that she has spent all her savings, spent your points on Seaman, and he does not understand that such a weak human's transensual, that he has something more to explain. Does Seaman tell her that there is nothing special in life and that too struggling like the people I have reached here? Liana arrives mocking him, asks if she has ever tried it. Seaman tells his story with some hesitation. He was an orphan who was adopted, went, and after she woke up at school he was bullied a lot, due to which he had to leave school. His boring story. I get more bored after listening to it, but then says that she can assume that I have tried to give my best. To these words Sunak Seaman feels a little comfortable. After this Liana starts to leave, but before she can leave Liana threatens him, when if I made some weird comment again, he came back, she will come and kill him and give him an apology. Seaman tells her to post it is okay, and Liana says one last thing, the world is unfair but still it is important to show that you are a human being, and as a human being, you have to do something in your life. Seaman asks if something should be done. Will he ever meet Liana again? She smiles and says that if you want to meet him, then you have to trans yourself, will have to do it, and then he will go back to his world. Seaman leaves and the gate closes. Picked up the fallen petal and placed it on, watches from and wonders if he too will ever opens the transducer Sentinel network, and he posts an apology to himself there, introducing it correctly. He writes, I am Lee Seaman, an unemployed person. From now on I share my deepest thoughts and ideas here. After that I will do transensual, whose name is Kayan Young Nim. He greets him and mentions that there is plenty of time. When did you post your latest photo? Kayan was the son of a slave of a noble family, and he had learnt from his master the news of his mother's death. Merson became famous by taking revenge. He completely to all the noble bloodlines on the continent eliminated, and strongest warrior. This is called Seaman. Kayan's family photo sees what she took on her recent trip and sees that her son is with his another transit has gone to the parents, being the sword deem purged. That continent's top chief master is greeting Seaman. Seaman responds to her greeting, and Pahon jokes that he does that so quickly. How does one respond? Pahon says that he feelingless for a girl, asks Min for advice on what his heart should do. Seaman advises him what to do to win, gives that first one an emotional and heartfelt, trying to impress a girl through messages. Tell him, where did you find your wings? You have hidden. It means that you thought that the girl is an angel, but people are impressed. Seaman goes and gives him some more tips, like if a girl smiles, then tell her my heart is filled with joy. When I see your smile it will explode, but people will thank him, and promises that if his work is done with the advice, then he gets those points. Hearing that he will gather and meet Seaman, Seaman is happy and thinks thinks that transensual and a heartfelt about the struggles. He sits down to write a post. While writing a post, organizes his thoughts carefully, and finally it clearly states that what is his real purpose behind posting this. Afterwards he tried to get rid of his fatigue by drinking some alcohol. Tries and falls into a deep sleep. After some time there is a notification on the laptop. There's a sound that wakes him up. While a little confused, he realizes that maybe he posted something weird. When he opens the site he is surprised. This happens because Transcend members have Lord Commander Garth gave support and encouragement, tells him to go on his way and don't give up. Dragon Lord Lee Moonkajar reminds him that life is short, it happens, and that two similar challengeable Shadow Kill. Damu Guang gives advice that real strength comes from taking the first step. This is the unexpected support you get is very motivating for Semin, and he says thank you to everyone, and then a gate opens for him. The back opens and a voice calls it. Unemployed Lee calls out to Semin and Semin shakes in fear. No, and no courage to look back. He does not do so because he feels that it is necessary. Any translucency is flowing through it. That mysterious figure is present in every part of his life. His depression is watching his struggle lack resolve and its weak constitution which slowly destroying his body and mind. The figure shows that Semin's illness called severed veins of Simon energy starts flowing in the body and he screams loudly. Then he becomes mysterious. The being removes his hand from her back and completely the place changes. He introduces himself and tells that the dog Go Chanma, who is history's greatest marshal, he is called an artist. He says you are not a weak person, thinks Semin. That such an over might force the Velmanic. I thought that Grand Wizard Liana it is very strong but its power is different. That mysterious being is on the same level. Further it says collect points and access the tips board. I just went there. I have prepared something special for you. On hearing this Semin immediately ran to Dogo Kiyoma. Before he could ask anything else he returned to his room. Goes and falls to the ground. He thinks was it all a dream or reality, but I felt the injury on my hand. After seeing this he realizes that it was all real. After this, C-Mine finally returns to his room, takes the decision to clean and his room would be completely clean within hours. He looks at his hand and thinks that now there is only one piece of garbage left in this room and that's me. Then he remembers himself, shows he is not weak and now he will achieve something in life. Semin puts on his jacket and heads for training. He goes out and after running for 10 minutes he got hungry and started eating fried chicken. When he was finishing his meal he decided he would run again. After eating he started running again. He paused to take a breath and thought that his goals are very difficult and he cannot complete them alone. So I saw a poster of a gym and thought let's go to this gym. When he went to the gym I saw a very big man lifting heavy dumbbells. I was doing lifting exercise when a man came to Seaman and asked are you new, and that big man has come to work out. Seaman revealed his name is Coach Kim Yogbai, also told his name. Then Yoga B joked while doing this. He said friend you smell like chicken. I am getting a bit confused with Yoga. He asked have you eaten yet? Then he scolded me a bit and said, on one hand you keep your fitness aside and on the other side Samin is eating some unhealthy food. Got embarrassed and apologized, but Yoga Bai held his hand and said let's go warm. Samin agreed with him. Doc Ba notices something while holding her hand. I thought Samin's arms felt a little strong. You were doing yoga, maid said. It seems you Simon did some exercise, right? Little it's hesitation. I'll make you fit quickly, I will give it to you. Then Seaman started running on the treadmill, but Doc Bay soon got tired and started screaming. Laakar said if you want to fall then fall, if you have to get up you will get up. Semin was thinking a bit too much, but Yoga Bay said don't think too much, you just need to focus on your limits have to be crossed. Then Semin said his put in all your energy and achieve your goal. Tried his best to do. Yoga said with excitement that nothing else now, even if you die, just keep running until you don't fall down. After a few hours the seminal fluid is completely gone. He was tired like a boy, but the coach yoke him. He came close and gave a thumbs up and said good job, did we meet tomorrow? Give this compliment to Simon, it felt great, and he also praised the coach. Thanked her when she returned to her apartment. When he came back he had transensual. I got confused and thought these were points. How does the system get him a notice? Dia member quest own weight 100 kilograms. Seaman was shocked to see this. He wondered how he would do it the next day. Seaman then went to the gym and started running on the treadmill. I thought that he would reduce his weight to 100, giving coach Digbeth the will bring him under kilogram. He said that with the strength that you have, you will definitely achieve your goals. Semin tried his best and ran. Deck Bay crossed his limits shouting loudly. He said you have so much, you have the potential, just push your limits. Semin ran with full motivation and ran 8.4 kms. In a few days later Seaman stood in his bathroom and he was looking at the reflection and he wondered what I have lost some weight. Then he himself, while motivating him, he said today I am the best. Next he goes out for a run. While running he thinks, today I am a little light, I will do cardio and some exercise as well. I would also train. While he was running a girl passed by him. That girl, I thought this guy is he running again. When I saw it for the first time I thought a wild bear was coming, but now if I look carefully, her body is already he has become quite slim and fit now he was doing pull-ups and his muscles were building up a lot I was in pain but I was trying to keep my limits. Push your body further to cross the girl was also looking at him intently. After working out a bit, when he drinks water when he went to drink, that girl came to Seaman and you are working very hard I said you I have been watching your dedication for a long time special Seaman said to him okay but I am going. Thinking about that girl in anger I was going to talk to him he worked so hard and he just left like that he Seaman started running again, she did a felt the scent of a light raider that was that girl Seaman felt that the girl was less will be less than blue mark raider because his physical abilities are much more than a normal person Simon missed his training days a lot when he learned that the raiders and a huge difference between normal humans it happens that raiders have such a power inside them which can never be crossed, only then the girl came to him again and made fun of him. While blowing him off, that girl called him fat uncle she said it doesn't matter how much you work hard nothing will happen to you Seaman gets angry at night after hearing this Seaman returns to his apartment and I check my daily updates on my laptop. She has a copy of Liana on the Transant network I saw the post and started thinking that when the first time I met Liana she was scared but when she saw Liana when he saw the real nature he felt that he is very kind and understanding. After this he request to check your weight see he was hopeful that he would finally score 100 kilograms target will be crossed but when he looked at the scale and the weight was showing 100.2 kilograms on the semi got upset because he still got 0.02 he wanted to lose weight and started thinking of gaining some more weight he must do something else to reduce it went to the bathroom hoping to lose weight it will happen after he goes to the bathroom again when I saw the quest. I weighed on the scale he was looking like he was weighing 100.5 kilograms and he got angry and did everything so that he can finally reduce his weight to less than 100 kilograms as soon as the scale showed 99.9 kilograms showed Seaman the reward for his quest got it in which he got 100 points in with the help of points he reaches level 2 now he had access to the tip board where many posts were available the system told me that I had read a post on the tip board the cost is 100 points while posting the cost is 200 points and if people see your post then you get paid for every view gets 10 points Seaman saw that the post was learn to grow the world tree with Liana but her eyes are on another post fell whose name was by Void Saren's heavenly demon Dogo Choma this post is a legend it was a martial artist and featured Void Sevens were told about the Void an advanced way to control energy Seaman liked this post very much found it interesting as it showed his skill Seaman said this can help to improve I read the post carefully and understood that the technique is perfect for his current condition it was told in the post that those who there is a blockage in the meridians of this completely stops the energy flow exactly matched his situation although the post has gained a special cult following a method was given which would remove this blockage could restore energy flow Seaman saw this as a ray of hope for himself and wondered if he could make it if adopted in right manner then his condition will be better maybe he thinks I'm always around I thought of me as just something that I could to overcome and conquer but heavenly dem dok ko kioma gave aura a life which has its own distinct intention and I wish the right answer was what it was always the scene is shown after 3 months Simeon constantly tries to control her aura flow would have been trying to after trying several times he got tired and sat down. He goes and thinks, taking a deep breath if this is the way to get me out of this situation if I could. I would do it 100 times I am ready if needed again to control your blood flow again he tries to take a deep breath focus tells me to think like a needle I'm putting thread in it like Doko Kioma did he taught me that it was water and like the roots it spreads if I open my blocked area concentrate on the circulation points and AI will make a breakthrough in this at once, Simon method to break your limitations he tries and finally succeeds and he is very tired but there is a smile on his face there was a slight smile, she said now I am better than before I have become stronger. See the next scene Private Raid Training Academy Tess Academy is where coaching Jong brings his I was training the students when the student came and told that a person has come who wants to meet you Coach Hung entrance and there he saw a familiar face I saw that it was Semen said a lot of time Master Hung Young is done with Coach Hung Seoman he gets surprised on seeing this and says while crying hey Simon I always knew you were this he will definitely do it from now on. Whether he becomes a raider or not call me and let's celebrate this occasion lots of time to take a drink but Simin said she would he didn't come for a drink he came to eat his orange shows Wong Semen's aura he gets surprised and then he sees his other I told the students that I will stay for a while I am going out for my self-training keep on continuing Wong said let's go first your aura level is measured by Seaman Ra his eyes were closed inside the measuring machine T Simon opened her eyes and opened her mouth I checked the level, now his level had become 1034 he was surprised to see his raw level. Coming out of the machine with eyes filled with tears he Simon was surprised that for just 1 month consistent raw circulation and ultimate supremacy using the technique he achieved that he did what he had been unable to do for years Nung asked Simin how did you do that? Kia Simin said that I just told someone I followed the advice I got just to see as to whether that would work. Wang said, well, why don't you showcase your abilities now? Test an overconfident student who is very arrogant by sparring with and depends only on its level, and this would be a good chance to __. Her reality I am sure you can show her easily. Can you handle the challenge, Simin? I accepted that the scene shifts in the training hall of the academy where Simin standing on the stage with his opponent Eugene along with Jin. He asked Song what was the reason for Semin's death. What is the level, and Ing replied that it is around 1000 now. Those who felt that this is nothing because according to him Simin just seemed to be a newbie who he has reached 1000 level and then he thinks is this Hung's favorite decile. Both take their positions for the fight. Match starts and Jin immediately attacks. Semin attacked with his arrow but Semin easily dodged his attack and landed a powerful punch Jin in the face. Then Simin understands that Jin is no ordinary boy because as soon as the punch landed Semin had to go to any. It feels like a wall, and then there's the Jin tease. While doing this he asks, is everything okay? Semin gets a little behind and Jin his basic praises his skills but he keeps quiet. Jin plans his next move with he moves forward, increases his force, and Semin lands a powerful kick on Simin. Tried to block the kick but he collided straight into the ring just as Semin attacked Semin again. Semin attacked him, grabbed the leg and did his grappling using the technique he made it fall. Now Jin his condition had become dangerous. He was on his second tries to kick with his leg but Simon immediately retreated and was hit by Jin's move. I was saved. All the students were laughing there because he kicked the air. Jin got up quickly, embarrassed, and stood in front of Semin again. His face was full of anger. Jin stepped forward and tried to punch him, but Semin ducks in time and hits Jin with an uppercut. Jin falls to the stage floor, forced those who didn't get a chance to rise before Semin wraps his legs around Jin and holding her hand. I felt like a common man in anger. Jin gave a strong aura and punches Semin. The rest of the students and I were scared went because they knew that Jin's aura how dangerous it can be, but Semin shanty Jin's hand getting a little frustrated with breaks the semi running after a while. While doing this I was thinking that guy properly. I had no training and there was no my passion was victory. It was just a result of hard practice that was the result, but now I have to break his hand. Feeling wrong. The next day at the gym working out with heavy dumbbells as he finishes his set and catches his breath he keeps his eyes on the gym door. It falls on two students standing. Students are looking at Semin in surprise like they've seen a superhero. Have you seen one of them in his hand? There is a paper in which the body of the seminar is described. Before and after transformation shown. It happens that earlier the Semin was very thick and now he had built a strong body. Understands the Semin. It comes to him that both of these it's getting very hot in Admiran. One of them was a boy who wore glasses. He calls Semin uncle. The mood turns bad and he gets angry. He asks, what did you say? And he immediately apologizes. He asks and says sorry bye. After that he asks, did you really have only 3? This transformation has happened in a matter of months. Semin proudly replies, yes of course. That boy's eyes were hopeful. I start to shine. He asks, can I do that too? Semin says yes, but first you have to kill the boss here. You should give them respect, only then they will be surprised. I can hear someone's voice. It's good to meet Laga new members. Mainhoon coach Kim Dok Bai. They both get scared and says Yogyu Bay let's go to the office and talk for a while. After that both the boys returned from office very tired. Come out. Yok Bay tells that these people also want to be like you Semin and they have decided that the same course you will do what you did. Simin laughs, says you think this is mine. They both think that they will be able to do the training after taking the course. We found out that there will be no cancellation and we have also stamped it. Given that Doc Base says both of these are quite Semin is hardworking, wishes good luck to both of them. Both of them have awkward smiles because he knew that his condition was getting worse now. After this Semin takes out his phone and opens his transderm. He's there searches for new techniques of martial arts. Then he sees a tech whose name is the beginning of martial arts training. Semin decides he wants to use this technique. Will explore the same in the gym. After some time 2 boys after hard training. Chashmish sits tired on the floor. He says I feel like this from the first day. It felt like my life had gone out, so did the other boy. He nods his head in agreement and then his eyes Semin falls on Semin comfortably with he is stretching his arms and his body. A light blue color is coming out from it. Boys, we understand that Simon is a normal person. No, he's a raider. The other guy, he says then he is like a senior to us. Both of them praise Simin's dedication. Simin starts working out at the gym. The next day he feels as if he is doing that. Strange eyes are following him. It turns out that the same spectacled boy as her. Simin is looking attentively for a while, feels and thinks uncomfortable force. I have no interest in boys. Then the bespectacled boy comes to Simin and he says I have been observing you for a long time. And I've seen your real identity. I have discovered. Simin in confusion asks what does my identity mean? Its spectacle tells with excitement you are a raider, aren't you? Simin told Chashmish explained that he is not an official raider yet but going to give qualification test soon. Hearing this, Chashmish got excited and he said that he also wants to take this test, which it was a bit Shocking for Simin that she revealed her showing an aura. He said that he is also an awake. Hearing this, Simon became curious and he asked, if you are awake then why Raider Academy I do not join. He explained that his parents think he wants to become a raider. It is dangerous, that's why he said that first complete your studies and become an adult, after that decide. But glasses, I was confident and said I am confident about my strength, I am building it. He further said that many the top raiders were late bloomers and true to be a raider, there is more to it than just being a king. There is no proper training and hard work, it is necessary that I am a bespectacled man with confidence I will become a raider one day. Simon said, a little being surprised. He asked, are you so sure? Why is he from Korea? He smiled and said, for middle and high school students being a raider is the best job. Semyon then told him, can you control your anger? When Chashmish said yes, Semin said that he tried to control his anger when he successfully tried to get his way. Semin was impressed when he controlled the he praised Chashmish's technique and Chashmish asked, where did you learn this from? I replied proudly, with the raider I have followed a beginner's course from Semin. He said laughingly, practice is necessary and one day we both will to the top. Chashmish gains confidence after hearing that he will reach God boosted and he happily went to his friend. Semin went to talk to him. Seeing the excitement I started thinking this is the beginning. I have to give my best later. He went to his room and Transderm opened, which is the fundamentals of Raw. It was about manipulation. Just by looking at the title he got excited and thought that these tips the board is a great help in improving his basics. Will help. Then he checked the general boards where he saw a post of Prajna. It was written that she is busy dating these days and I jokingly asked if Semin was jealous. Liana made fun of me and said, with a face like yours how can dating happen together? After reading all this Semin smiles and thinks another cool in this dimension. Again Semin caught the raider searching for details of qualification test. He started to see that the toughest of the tests, the part which is in-depth tested, is random. This test is an unpredictable challenge it is famous for and the final result is the same, decides written measurement and combat. Even after clearing the evaluation, people are still waiting for this fail in the stage to get the Semin passed. I remembered last year's test in which there was a debate. There was also a section, he thought, for debate on raiders. What do we have to do with work? Have to fight and kill monsters. Then he saw a pamphlet which was exclusive about prediction questions, was advertising. He thought that only more careful people spend money on such things. I apply it but I keep looking at the screen for a while. After that he called on the number given on the pamphlet about Kia and price and reliability. I asked. Seaman put down his phone and thought now he is fully prepared and confident. He thought that he would take over the world very soon. Semin's name was to be revealed the next day. He was working out in Semin Park, felt a familiar presence and when he turned his face, he saw the same lady. I saw that she had met him before and now she was running and she was also looking at Semin, and even if Semin had ejaculated on himself last time I tried to save him from her, but still she came close and said to Semin, excuse me, do you know how much weight you have lost? I took it I did not recognize you. Semin told him not to bother me again, go ahead and complete your running. He has Semin. I apologized for the last time and put my Semin also revealed. His name is Kim Sana, name Lee. Semin revealed. Sana then asked that is he a raider? Semin replied that he is preparing to take the test. Sana said that he would introduce the new member of his company. Semin said she will support the new member. This sounds quite exciting, why don't we take a bet? Asked Sena what kind of bet is this? Semin said let's go see who performs better, member or he himself. He also said that the one who wins will fulfill one wish of the other. Sinha said you have so much courage. Both were angry at each other and then both gave each other a scary look. After that scene, directly on the day of qualification examination, the shift happens in the morning. 750 semi-raider qualification exam. I was standing at the entrance where there was a lot of participants. Were a little on his face. He was tired but he had the dog go to Chanma in his mind and Liana to help her. He said thank you and scanned the surrounding crowd and saw that whoever was probably taking the test. She reminded herself that she had not to be left behind. Seaman has put his hands up, feeling stretched and confident. I started moving towards the entrance exam. In written exams, Seaman noticed that this year's the questions are quite tough and complex. There were text and tricky questions that designed to confuse students. Seaman thought this was so difficult it must happen so that all that I have done, don't let your studies go waste. The last question is over. He felt relieved when he did that. He saw that there were a lot of people struggling around and he wondered if the written exam was so difficult, so how will the practical exam be? After some time then a bell rang, indicating the end of the exam. The signal was that the examiner gave everyone his pence. Warning, asked to keep and submit sheets, giving that if anybody makes any movement then he will be disqualified from the semi. Follows the rules, but he saw that the man sitting beside her was still in panic. Suddenly a strong purple the aura began to move around the man's neck and the examiner stopped him and angrily told everyone, reminded that the warning was very clear. The examiner announced that 3 disqualified participants and they have been ordered to leave immediately. Dia Seaman was in shock and he realized that the examiner is a gold mark raider. The examiner explained to everyone that the raiders facing life and death situations and hence have to follow the rules. It is necessary if even the slightest negligence does it while thinking as to what the if it happens, it puts the whole team in danger. Could he have said the rules for a raider are the lifelines of life and those who they do not respect it is necessary for them to be there? No. The examiner adjusted his glasses and with a small smile I wished everyone good where is luck then. It's all about the next part of the exam. Semin moved towards me when I was coming out of the exam room. So he talked to some participants. I heard him saying that the test is enough, it was difficult and he was afraid he would fail, especially when the measurement part was about to come. Semin thought the test was tough but he was sure that he would not fail. He keep your hands in the right position and protect your hands started to control. He knew that raw level for raider qualification exam must be more than 5,000 and when he last time I checked my rap it was 5,100. When he was concentrating on his raw some participants noticed his aura but he kept quiet for a while. His concentration was broken when his mind memories of his military service came to him, made me a bit frustrated and sad. Then he devoted himself to the teachings of Dog Go Chanma reminded me about Supreme Ultimate. It is a symbol of principle harmony Jo Yin and Young Heaven of Earth and humanity. Combination is the origin of these principles. Growth benefit and integrity too shows as she works on her aura. Some more memories came to his mind. He thought about how he had been bullied the first time he told his dream he will become a raider and how his parents always supported him. I had complete faith in him. Even if it was his semen did not have a biological son. Open your eyes and learn about your parents. I was thinking when he saw the examiner the examiner standing nearby watches and asks what he was doing and reminded him that aura is always in a safe place. Coulter quickly apologized to the examiner. The examiner asked and placed his hand on his shoulder and told him to follow the rules. Sometimes it is not necessary and you can tell me about your experience when she was met with a monster. I had to wait for a long time in the forest to stay alive. The examiner did even more, told that the raiders never get a break and never get the right in your profession. Samin does not get any rest with dignity. Said that the examiner must have given many dangerous battles the examiner must have faced. He replied with a smile and said that in every battle there is a risk, but that is a particular battle. One gate subjugation he did was quite memorable. Rare monster, explained Joe. Monster names of black castles in encyclopedia. No matter how many times he attacked that monster didn't stop. It was a scary experience. No matter how much I would attack him, he wouldn't even move and slowly he was coming closer. Really it was scary after that encounter with that monster. The examiner has never been seen with his team. I was about to tell you about the leader who was their leader during the mission. There was a knock on the door and a staff member remembered. I assured you that the measurement is getting close. The examiner told Semin that he should first head to the measurement room and I hope your result is good. When Simondia the attendant told him to stand in line wait while mine was wait. He heard the surrounding participants talking who were surprised to hear the asked Samadis paint if something had happened. He said that you will not believe this person. Aura was just measured his aura 3. I was more interested in Simran than Haj and it became so it's hard to believe his incredible power levels. It was becoming difficult for him. He recalled that the strongest raiders usually have an aura of 200. It happens around Haj and this makes it possible for him to perform various rituals. Curiosity increased further. In front of Simon the guy told him his name was Bang Yu is there and also said that she is very beautiful. Simon thought that it was a girl. It was her. It cannot be possible. Then Seaman became curious. I asked the person tied in front if there was anyone was disqualified. He said no. And who can score less than 5,000? Isn't it? Simon laughed nervously. Yes, you are right. He is so upset. It was because the last time he had said his I checked and it was 5,000. When finally his turn came the doctor told that he is the last participant and I was asked to lie down in the machine and I had a lot of semen. He was nervous. The machine started measuring his age. After some time the doctor called him and announced his aura level which 7,180. Semyon became very happy and he told the doctor he thanked him. He was very happy. He held the doctor's hand and said you may be very successful in future. Close officer curious, I was wondering if Semen had broke any records or something achieved the extraordinary. Exiting the examination area Semen is feeling full enjoyment. As he was walking in the corridor he saw I got a message asking how Semen's test went. He replied quickly and asked about school today. When will I finish treating you? After some time, Sammy sat in the cafe. He used to think that how much everything is today looking beautiful. Suddenly he saw that Senna was going somewhere with her team. Semen got a little irritated. He looked at them. She looked at the shots. She did not notice that the hand was moving towards him. Suddenly Injay surprising Samin. I called her brother. This boy's name is Inji and his friend's name is Jimin. So let's move ahead in the story. Haynes Seoman saw him and became curious. Injay asked Semen how the test went. I replied happily my test was very good. It went well. Then he asked, what are you guys doing? Would you like to eat? Both gave the same answer. Pork belly. After a while everyone started eating pork belly, enjoyed it. Semin said, today is my treat if it is on the side. Eat as much as you want from Inji. Joe Seaman's grilling skills was impressed and jokingly suggests that Semin gets a barbecue instead of becoming a raider. Hearing that a restaurant should be opened, Seaman immediately rejected the idea and said, if someone is as talented as I am and if he does this then it will be a national loss. Inji said, I have the real talent. Seoman jokes with Jimin while getting angry while doing that. He said, just punch it so that it only then can the restaurant become a reality. The door opened and Sana with his team. Semin's mood got spoiled a little inside. Sona looked at him and said, then we will again. Got it. He told Bang Yu that Semin, he's the one who told me that he could chew like old chewing gum. Bang Yu with scary look gave the introduction, hello I am Bang Yu, and Semin also introduced himself. Semin felt inspired when he real life aura level was that of Sana was a member of the group when Sana and her team when she was about to leave from there. Seo told Semin, said enjoy the food and our little do not forget about the bet Semin made on him. Told you to stop, I didn't mean it that way, but Sena ignored him. Semin wondered why I said that when everybody else the students finished their food and went to the seminar. Then Injae said that who were the girls I met earlier. She was looking very pretty. Semin told her that anyone is judged on the basis of their appearance, one should not judge. He has put them on both shoulders. I put my hand and said, make sure you are yours, choose friends carefully. Then he suggested, why don't we go and do it now? Jimin said, it sounds good, come on let's go. While they were all walking, Simon felt something strange in the air. There might have been a crack. In panic he left the building, looked towards where he had just come from. She was having the same feeling as he had. Injae had done it when the gate of the room opened, saw his reaction and asked if something was wrong. It has happened. Seaman told both of them to come quickly, let's go from here and take them both from there. Injae started leaving and asked what happened. Seaman shouted that the gate was opening, then there was a crack in the air and a big hole was formed in which many there were monsters. Then a monster came out who hostels number 22 as sinkers. Then suddenly he took a sharp and she screamed loudly which broke the surrounding glass. When the people ran away in fear and panic, she was forced to move, but Seaman managed to move herself. His body was unable to do it due to fear, it froze. Then Siona's team came there, gave his introduction that Iron Horse the company has come to evacuate everyone. Key advice, Siona quickly. Bang Yu was asked to guide the rescue team and Bang Yu agreed. Simon knew it that Iron Horse company top 3 raid was not in the organizations but their elite, very well known for running small team operations. Sana and her team headed towards Munster, charged up and Sana applied her aura to her, channeled into Surden. Did a slash with it when he attacked the monsters. I was shocked for a while after seeing because more monsters are coming out of the gate. This time it seemed like he is a monster. Identification number 8 outside Zorg gate. That monster came rapidly towards the common people. Munster ran so fast to attack, so much so that Sana could not stop them. Jorg Munster attacked a guy's hand and bit him with his teeth. He was in shock and told himself, I should go and it has to stop. I've tried for years, I have trained for such situations. Only then Ing attacks Jog Munster with a stick and takes Munster away from the injured man. He knocked Munster to the ground but he got up quickly and went away without any. Semin turns his sights to Inji after loss, saw this in training on real life. Instinctively I understood the flow of the battle. I felt that Inji may be a natural bone raider. Released the stick and gave Jorg Munster he gave a powerful kick which sent the monsters back. Simin wondered if Inji had to go to jail if he gets a little more time. He would be an outstanding, could become a raider. But then another Jorg Munster bit Ing's hand with his teeth, saw that he bit it and broke it, shouted Inji's name and immediately put aura in his hands and turned the monster he ran to kill. But before that the spear passed by him and Jorg entered Munster's head, causing him to immediately die. A raider came to Semin and asked, is he okay? Semin said he is fine but his friend is seriously injured. Semin picked Ing up and revived her. Ing said that he doesn't want to die. The raider treated his injury. After looking at it he took out the bandage and said, bring it to me. The raider asked if he was in Awakened Forest and he informed that the rescue team she will be coming soon to take care of Inji. Semin handed over the injection cut to Semin. Semin bandaged his injured hand. I stopped bleeding using aura but I didn't need injection now, there was no hand left. Then 2 more Jorg Munster. Luckily Zion started moving towards them, unleashes a powerful blast of his Ra which diverts the attention of the monsters towards them. His teammate asked if he was okay. Siona answered by monsters Sinku are very fast as per their size. Siona said as she looked at that monster, I targeting his vital spots but it's hard to get near his head. Then his partner said that he lost his. The support team has arrived, so let's attack together now, let's do it. Seo said the idea is good if you can get his attention. I managed to knock him down with 1 blow. As soon as reinforcements arrive a voice was heard and the monster started to move towards them. Seo turned her attention to his side, running from target. His head started and his partner directly sank. Monster's face destruction provided. Doing this on the roof of a small building, I climbed up from there and jumped straight to my charged aura in sword and Sink Monster is on the ground, fell and died. The team confirmed that Sink Monster was no longer moving. Siona, the support team, sat there exhausted and started healing. Units sent forward. Gate was closing 10 seconds left for complete analysis. Semin was watching the gate being closed when Semin noticed something inside the gate. When he looked closely he was surprised because a monster was watching him, and monster is a disaster monster identification. The number 1 orc was across the gate. That monster just now was also staring at Semin until the portal. It did not stop completely. Only then Inji regained consciousness. Simin asks him nervously, "Are you okay?" Inji said that man is the person who got bitten by the monster. Okay. Semin confirmed that the person is safe. Ing said, "You wouldn't think so looking at me, but I'm still a trainee raider, so much I should have done it. Right, Simin?" After understanding his decision I told him, "Yes, you are right. Yes, the city will recover quickly." After that day went and everybody went about their everyday life. I was back but faced monsters. It was totally different than what I thought. If it wasn't for Senna and his teammates I might have died that day. Then we nighttime scene is shown workout by lifting heavy dumbbells in the gym. I was doing this and the attack that happened on Inji. Because of this, one of his hands was cut off. I was thinking. This thought filled him with anger. Semin kept lifting dumbbells over and over again. Then Coach Doc Bai called him and said that we should go home now. Semin looked at the time and I realized it was too late. Then Coach Yoga Bai asked Semin, "Are you with me? Would you like to have a drink later?" Both of them sat at a nearby stall and had drinks. Dick Bai Ne was sharing with Inji who he was sorry for whatever happened. Simin asked him, "Did you know that I am the one awake?" Simin told he passed his first test. Simin admitted that when she saw monsters when he was in front of him he froze and something Simin couldn't do it. Getting angry said that because of his hesitation Inji had to face he was hurt and was doubting whether he is capable of being a raider. Then Dayak Bay gave Semin a look while pouring a drink. Yoga Bay told a surprising thing and said that earlier he was a boxer and before opening a gym Simin used to do boxing. Asked really, Yoga Bay replied, "Yes, even though I am now I look like this but I was very fast at that time." Simin said jokingly, "Then you Yoga Bay must have been a good boxer." Laughed responded with, "This is no joke," but then he became serious and said that her boxing career had a painful end when his rival, who was like his younger brother, he died suddenly during our match. I did not step into the ring. Semin Yoga Bay listened to him carefully. Further asked Semin, "Do you know why am I telling you this? So that you don't be so sad about that. Are you thinking about what has already happened? You just keep crying like this and go to your room. You will stay hidden too." Cabe further said that any human beings are not perfect. Neither am I. I regret thinking about the last match when I hit the final blow. Then all know was that my rival was more focused on his position. He won't last long. But he'll still. Yoga Bay stood up and tried to explain to Semin. He said all human beings make mistakes and I regret them, and yes, it is scary but still you have to move forward. Happy to see Semin winning his cup. I picked it up and both of them cheered for a while. After that the yoga boy jokingly asked what could beat me in my good times. Semin replied, "I think old let you win." Bai said laughingly, "I will win. Time is a force that is hard to stop. Well, if we fought with our fists now I can lose to you because I am old now. I have grown but I am still an average human. I am stronger than Yoga Bai." He gave me courage and said that he is a strong raider. Benega Semin started drinking with renewed vigor and his courage increased. The next day test Semin in the academy's VR simulation room. This time I was ready for my training. Hung was also with him when the training started. Before the match, Wong asked if Semin was really a strong opponent like Jorg Munster. Semin wants to face him confidently. He raised his sword and said he was ready. The virtual Jorg Munster came forward and Semin ran to attack, blocked his attack and got a swift cut it in two with a strike gave. When that monster slowly started to disappear, Semin realized that he was as much a part of Munster as he could be. He wasn't as strong as he thought he was. This encouraged Semin to stay focused and not fear. Do not let anger overwhelm you. Then he asked if Semin wants to continue. Who is no more seemed more focused, said yes, but this time I want to face Sinku. Virtual Sinku comes in front of that monster and Simon started attacking aggressively, going from the side. Slashed his leg but all she got was a small scratch on the sink. Monster attacked with his tail but Semin saved herself by getting down in time. Then he stood up again and sat down a little, retreating back. I saw that Sink's monster that was moving towards him to attack Semin with a sharp move from the side. Go and sink that monster with a strong attack and Munster finished semifinal immediately. Singi Kwan to defeat that monster used martial arts in which your body movements and your mind work together. In this you train your body and mind fighting in one direction. Next he thinks, if I can do that, if I could go back in time I would make sure I wish that the monster would never hurting. Only then did Sink monster begin his second initiative and with a loud roar, Simon moved forward and released his aura, and after this, Sean got ready for the fight. Shifts directly to the day of the second test. Semin gets raider control. On the day of the second test, a testing bureau which was taken ground, i.e. known as Kulisan. All participants were protective. A staff member wearing the gear was shot by Semin. Asked him which weapon he would use. Semin replied that he would use sword, but as soon as he raised the sword he felt that the sword too weak for real combat. Though why should this be just practice? There was a commotion among the participants. The man in front of Semin was saying that this is Lee Yoon-hoo, a legend. Platinum marked the raider who is supervising our exam. Lee Yoon-hoo came forward, checked the mic, and everyone congratulated him for passing the first test. Then he explained the rules of the second test, Comet evaluation. He said that the protective gear is equipped with sensors that participants by detecting the fatal blow and will count dead. The rules were as simple as possible for the opponents. They have to defeat all the staff members. Forms were given to the participants to sign. Lee Yoon-hoo said that he had to sign the form. After doing this, go to the testing area. When the doors opened to all testing areas, a big battle entered the testing area. Mongol de Lee Yoon-hoo key through speakers. A voice came and it told all the participants that the test will start after 5 minutes. Till then you can wait as per your convenience. All the participants gave a good response upon hearing it. Spread out on all sides to take up positions so that you can find a better spot. After 5 minutes or over after that, a voice came from the speaker that the test has started. Simon has got one participant. He came and asked, "Why are you just standing here?" Semin did not give him any reply. "That guy," he said laughingly, "maybe we both have the same plan, like let others fight first." But suddenly, without warning, Semin turned and the man attacked him with his sword. Quickly block attacks with your spear, gives it and pushes Semin back and says, "Why are you so anxious?" Then he has stabilized the position and kept the spear in his hand. He put his weight on Semin and attacked him. He said, "Let's at least understand each other. Why not stop wasting this time?" And Semin calmed down by starting with small fish block his attack with the sword handle while and without saying anything left his sword. Then he grabbed the face of the captive and he put his punch in the hand and attacked directly. The fellow kept wondering whether Simin actually threw his weapon, but Simin punches him before he can react. It hit him right on the face and he fell to the ground, dropped it, and the sound came from the speaker again that participant 222 has been defeated and participant 13 gets additional bonus on first win. Simin gets points by defeating his opponent, left his place peacefully after defeating and set out in search of a new good spot. The staff in the monitoring room went to this. He was shocked to see the performance. How can someone achieve their first win so quickly? An observer from the company did this. Hosam said participant 222 was defeated so quickly. It could be that he thinks in his mind that who defeated Psycho. Renegade, the representative, said that perhaps this year Iron One of the horse recruits will be infinite. The society's representative told me, "I heard that this time the level of a recruit Sonha of Iron Horse is above 300. He is a representative," he said smilingly. "He will be an interesting person for everyone." Senna was watching the reaction. She felt that every Tiv definitely has someone he can trust. While in the testing area, Bangu, she was showing her strength very fast. Participants 185, 89 and 77 defeated. Lee Yoon-hoo announced that the participants 172 has made 3 consecutive kills and after that he gets extra points for that. Saman is trained by his martial arts master Dag Go. I remembered what Nama said. Fighting with Ra means convert the enemy's universe into your universe, bring under control. Seaman had 2 men fighting near him. He looked at the participants and thought that being able to fight monster with firearms, the fight of the raiders, is not like hunting. The real stakes are of life in the universe. Heyman attacked both of them, swiftly defeated the participants in one move. Lee Yoon-hoo announced that participants 156 and 66 lost. Representatives in the monitoring room Infinity Society was shocked to see the speed. The representative said this in surprise. Where did Renegade's participants come from? The representative expressed concern and said Renegades Promisify, who is the participant, and also told that he is the one who defeated their candidate earlier. Though Zion was in Osh, she remained silent. She was fully aware of who she was talking about. "I was talking in the forest." Participant 27 fighting with Bangyu. He was looking a little worried. Then Bangu quickly attacked him with his sword and defeated him with a slight smile. The announcer confirmed that participant 27 lost his senses and looked around while pouring it. He thought with curiosity that who could be his next target. That's why he heard someone coming near him and turned around, looked at Seaman, and he remembered how Seaman stood there in fear that day and could not do anything. He found her with a slight smile, greeted and teased him and asked if he still remembers his bet with Seo. Seaman seemed like an ordinary person to him, but when he saw that Seaman had already scored 10, Pat has defeated Pai Pants, so he has decided to change my mind again. Although he acknowledged her skills, yet he felt that perhaps he still. Bangu is scared of the monsters, came close and asked, "Are you ready?" And without, he stopped and attacked with his sword at the same time, but retreated and avoided the strike. He was impressed by her speed, but he had already expected it. Knew that just with the raw aura someone's strength cannot be estimated. Bang Yu then hit the ball with a sharp spin, attacked on the side, but this time Seaman blocked it with his sword, though the force of the strike pushed him back slightly. Then Bang Yu gave a powerful kick attack which Seaman blocked with his mango. Bang Yu stopped and realized that while Seaman was defending himself, he was preparing for a counter attack. He began to suspect that perhaps that person's skills far exceed his expectations. He is touching his injured chin. Irritation made me loosen my tied hair. Seeing such people makes one feel different. Suddenly he unleashed his aura, which Simin was startled. Simin realized that a dark An monstrous look in Bangu's aura quality was she thought it was aura monsters designed to suppress and control this energy was now emanating from Bangu, which his strength increased further. Semin increased his holding the sword firmly and readying himself for this overwhelming. Seeing the new determination and courage, Bangu Semin said, "You are no longer the same as before." I replied, "I adapted quickly because now I have no option to escape." No. After this, Semin also lost his aura unleashed. Both were looking at each other, the excitement of the battle on their faces. Bangu raised his sword and quickly ran towards him while Semin, "Hold your sword tightly and prepare yourself." Just as their swords were about to clash, suddenly, Li Yunhu's voice comes over the speakers. He heard the end of an individual match announced. As soon as the announcement was made, protective gear activated and all participants were tied tightly to the ground. Li Yunhu declared that second raider qualification exam, i.e. the individual matches, are over and all for treatment of injured applicants. Semin heaved a sigh of relief when he was asked to leave. "I was grateful that I was able to go through this intense phase." He survived for a few hours, after which the staff final in depth to all participants on their assigned seats for evaluation asked to sit for raider qualification exam. This final stage is held in a different format every year. It used to happen, and that was the most challenging part of it. Semin was believed to have seen it on his desk, that he had paper and pencil there. I felt like maybe something unexpected was going to happen, is about to happen. Then the host announced that the final evaluation of the year will be like this T exam. Hearing this, all the participants, the host was shocked and instructed him that he stays on his seat till the exam starts. He kept sitting there and also wondered if anyone movement may lead to disqualification. This was the topic of why you want to become a raider. Want and what is the raider's mission for you? Counts 5,000 rupees to participants, 1 hour in characters or less. Samin and the rest had to answer this. Inside, the participants couldn't believe it that this type of test will be taken in the seminar. Thought for a while that he was a typical can write response like legend raider inspired by him. "I dream of becoming a raider," but he thought this answer would be too generic. Then he told a story about a gate incident in his childhood recall where she was rescued, and this incident aroused his desire to save his life. Woke up, but he sensed that the evaluator's such standard answers can be easily solved. "I will understand." Thought deeply why he was really a raider. His willpower wants to become that of justice from his long-standing passion for. Suddenly an idea came to him, and I remembered a moment from middle school at the time. His infamous classmate Sung Jun was a Semin, was harassing another student, went ahead and said he didn't want to do that angrily. Suzu calls him an orphan boy, insulted by saying that Semin is really an orphan who was abandoned in childhood, but later he was adopted by his current parents, who adopted him without a word. He accepted with pure love. It taught him that being connected to a place. What does it feel like to have a day? The parents called him near them and asked him whether he told me what kind of person he wanted to be, that every human being has a purpose, and maybe it was his purpose to meet Semin without any. He used difficult words to say this. Semin later explained that she truly loved him. "I found out about my biological mother, the one who had died." Felt that his understanding his past. His parents told him this. The message was given a few days after the snob season. During this time, his mother reminded him that he take care of yourself in your training. Forgot that he had assured them that his father encouraged him to do this, and he explained the meaning of his name. Said that learning means the world and mine means people. It meant that he had such a raider. One should become one who serves the people. Touched by the words, Semin felt deeply. He promised that he would accomplish their purpose. The host will fulfill it. In the exam room announced that only 5 minutes are left for submission. Semin once again responded to the question for deadline. "I looked again and wondered how humanity survives only on the strength of raw. She is fighting against monsters." I began writing by asking myself why is this power given and its purpose. Slowly the answer became clear: to protect him. He needs a dog named Chanma. I remembered the person who called her brave, Liana, inspired him to push his limits. Injay crossed the river to protect others. I had shown the courage to lose my hand for this. Yoga has paved the way for him to become a great raider. I advised you to walk away smiling. Semin realized that this was his true calling. The host has the motivation to become a raider. Again it was announced that the exam is over. A few days later, Semin was admitted to the hospital. Met him sitting near Injay's bed. He greeted her and asked if you managed it well. Injay, I replied confidently that yes, he is definitely reading a very good novel, and asked Semin if he too had read novels. Semin likes to read and looks at the book. Said he doesn't usually read novels. Then he opened a can and gave it to Injay. Asked when he will be discharged. Said it will take some time, but he planning to study in meantime. Hai Min jokes about giving Injay a drink. I asked if he really studies on this. Ing said that she is not like Semin, she's smart. Then he challenged her and asked if Semin quadratic. Semin knows the formula. Admitted that he doesn't know, to which Injay said laughingly that Semin is even worse than Injay. Seeing the smile makes Semin feel lighter and better. Semin got a little serious and Injay he assured her that he would heal her hand even if it takes some time. Injay said he replied with a shake that he trusted him and told him that he wants to become a raider. Curious would aim to be a firefighter instead. Semin asked what he meant. Injay explained that firefighters are also raiders as heroic as Semin is. Injae's patting his head and agreeing with it. When we got ready to go to Semin, when Injae turned around he asked when will he come again. Semin replied that maybe 2 years later, but she encouraged Ing to stay strong and promised that he would definitely meet me again. Comes after 2 years. Semin is shown he thinks of the 2 years of my life where he could have done anything. He was quite frustrated. He appears to be shouting that the state, if the person did not do right to him, then we will have to face this. It was not told what happened to him. Now his main goal is an immortal unit. Joining this is a special unit which made for people who love the raider test. His trainer gave him a recommends carrying a sword because everybody goes there with their weapons. Semin goes to a weapon shop because he enters the shop. The shopkeeper said welcome. So what kind of weapon are you looking for? Host Semin said he wanted a sword. The shopkeeper gives him a sword and says here is a deep style claymore that is famous this double for its strength and history. The handed sword is a katana or jawahi sword of a sword type and design as per modern trends. The balance of Semin's sword is being tested. He does it and says it feels quite smooth. The shopkeeper tells that its design it's from a small company but it's magic. The circuit is quite reliable for swinging. It is perfect for buy. Semyon Soda, and from there he goes towards the camp. When he arrives at the Immortal Unit's camp, so Corporal Yoon Wjay, who is from the Immortal Unit, the Shield Battalion, asked him directly. He learned weapons before joining the military. Why did Semin buy it? Slightly hesitate. He replied that people had told him that it is necessary to take the weapon. The corporal gave this answer. He showed displeasure over this and said that his social media skills are absolutely useless. Private First Class Yu Gilhoon, who was there, the corporal told him that it seemed to him Gil has another troublemaker. He replied confidently that he would give Seaman a Gil will leave only after making a proper soldier. Went to Seaman and asked him to follow later. This is how he behaves with new recruits. He asked Simin what he wanted to eat. Smiling, Simin said she had to I want to eat choco pie. Gil ate it comfortably. Semin asked me to eat Gillen's meal. Gil further thanked Semin for this. The question was asked, do you even know this? What type of place is this? Semin replied that he honestly doesn't know. Gil said calmly explained to him most people here without knowing. He just thinks it's a place where those people gather who want to take the raider exam. Have you ever thought that I have failed? What happens if the raiders stop the beast? Seaman said that he heard at first that there was a major crisis in those regions where the raider system was not well developed. When it happened, countries sent help. Nowadays when people mention Gates, they often refer to him as about dangerous genetic or minds. I think Gillen finished his dinner and getting up he asked if you had finished. I'm done. Simin said no, still a little. Both of them were standing near a pole. Gilhoon climbs up the pole with ease. Seeing this, Semin is quite impressed. Simin then tries to climb up too and Gil becomes successful. Upon reaching the top I asked him, are you looking at that? Jad, the northern part of the city, is a place that is very similar to Munster. Next to it is a hell-like area where the monsters are and he and his team here in case something goes wrong so that he can handle the situation on his own. Look at the expression. Are you scared? Hey, Semin shouted and said I'm not afraid. I can't feel it anymore. Semin told himself. It's time to begin again.